And it's Monday, y'all, and I hope everybody had a great weekend. Obviously, we limped through this weekend, but a win is a win. And I got my main man, Jersey Fred. Jersey Fred is brought to us by Comfort Plus Heating and Cooling. Jersey Fred, what is popping, my brother?
Oh, man, it's busy out here, in the midst of moving cross country is not fun.
Not going to be fun at all. But the fun part is, Fred, as soon as we're off this podcast, you're on your way back to the state that your heart is really in, Michigan.
Yeah, I will be. I'll be traveling back to Mississippi, I like to call it, for the week. Got some things going on. We're going to be linking up.
We're going to be linking up. We're going to be hanging out tomorrow, and you're going to see Fred on a little food review podcast. We got some plans for him to come out and support a small business in the area that I'm kind of excited about. So stay tuned for that. That'll be cool.
And we may have a special guest as well.
I would figure we'd talk off air about that. I wasn't sure if he was coming, but it's going to be a good spot. So I'm excited for that. But let's get right into it because
what's that noise?
That's my phone going off. People want to talk to me. I'll airplane it.
They don't know you're going. They don't know it's Monday, right, y'all? Right now?
Yeah, they do know it's Monday, y'all. That's like inspection confirmation.
They're calling in.
They're calling. Yeah, we got callers, Fred. They want to talk. But I want to start the podcast with this. Like, for my entire life, I have always hated the Packers and Packers fans. Now, one of my best friends is a Packers fan. Shout out Scott Koski from the U. And, I think that Chicago has always had a special place in my heart because I was a big Jordan fan and I was a Bulls fan. But as I've gotten older and Jordan is now since gone and he's more of a global thing rather than a Chicago thing, I've grown to hate Bears fans even more. And now that they're in a position where they're 8-3, top of the division, you hear a lot more talk about Bears fans. In fact, Fred, I didn't even tell you this. I wanted to bring it up on air. I had a Bears fan text me and say, tell Fred to stick to women's soccer because of you picking the Steelers to beat the Bears this weekend. So I hope you share the same thoughts of Bears fans as I do.
Well, I mean, first of all, they squeaked by a terrible Steelers team. The Bears could be the worst 8-3 team in the history of the NFL.
Yes. They're the first. I think I heard a stat this morning about their point differential is -3 right now.
They're not a good team. Now, listen, the Steelers are not a good team, and I've said that since week one.
Yep, 100%.
I'm not all over the Steelers. I mean, as for your buddy, I mean, I actually think that the New York Gotham could beat the Bears, to be honest. It came down to it.
In real football.
Yes. And I think it would be close. I think it would be an under game. But yeah, I mean, have fun cheering for the worst 8-3 team in the history of the NFL. They most likely won't win the division. They will not win a playoff game. And with that being,
it won't. I'll say it here right now. And I was just talking to Scott on the phone before I jumped on the podcast. Obviously, because Scott and I have a big game on Thursday. I say Scott and I because it's like we play in it. We've had these arguments since the day I met him in 1998. But we have a big game on Thursday. It's a big game. But before I get into that, I want to talk to we're not worried about the Bears. Neither one of us. Packers fans, Lions fans, neither one of us are worried about the Bears because the Bears on Black Friday, they play the Eagles. Then they go the Packers. Then they go Browns. Then they go Packers.
Yeah, they may lose all.
Yeah, Shador's going to carve them up.
Yeah,
Shador's going to carve them up. But
they're not.
Let's start off. Obviously we got to start with the Lions. Interesting first drive with the Giants and the throwback to Jameis. Like, I mean, it looked great. It was awesome. It was a cool play. I was kind of torn. I'm not going to lie, because I am a Jameis fan. I don't know how you couldn't be. To your point, I think Jameis probably should have started at the beginning of the year, and they'd be a much better team. Do I think that Jackson Dart is the future of the Giants? Yeah, absolutely. I think this game gave an opportunity to some teams that could potentially use him as a starter or a backup, going forward. But there's a lot of positions on this in the NFL right now that could use Jameis. But he looked good. But question for you, Fred, and I know you didn't probably watch a bunch because obviously our games are conflicting, but you did your homework. Was Jameis that good, or was the Lions defense that bad?
I think that I think Jameis played good. I think the play calling was great. I do think, and this is the rumor out here, that they tanked on purpose at the end of the game. By not running the ball and kicking the field goal. And I could see it. It doesn't make any sense not to run the ball 2 times and kick a field goal and go up by 6.
I didn't hate that call. In fact, when they did it, it's like, well, okay, first of all, you have 2 wins, right? You know you're playing a very high-powered offense, though we really didn't show it as much in this game. Like, Jared Goff's going to come down and do something, right? I don't disagree. I don't know. I don't think it was a terrible play call, but I never even thought about the fact that they could have been tanking. I don't think that Jameis would play like that way, or maybe the play calling.
Yeah, but not running the ball and forcing timeouts. And then, I mean, you know that exactly what you just said. So that Goff is gonna come down and do something. The least he needs now is a field goal. All you had to do is kick a field goal. He needed to get in the end zone. And if you ran the ball for the first 2 times and they used timeouts, there would have been less time on the clock. Like,
that's a good point.
And you're talking about and then even in overtime when they were talking about, well, if the Giants come down and score, I guarantee they go for 2. Oh, now they're ballsy. It's like, do you want to win a game or not? Like, right. Like you were ballsy on the 4th down call and you blew the game on it. So you already lost the game because you were ballsy. Like, they didn't want to win the game. That's what it looked like. And I'm not taking anything away from the Lions because that was a trap game for the Lions. And they're just glad they got through it. That's all. Yeah. It's one of those games. You're just happy it's over. And move on.
And that's 100% true. And I put something on social media. I said there was an embarrassing loss, and people are like, there's no such thing as an embarrassing loss in the NFL. I disagree. I disagree with that when the expectations of this team are where they're at. You can't. And now again, I'm going to say 3rd string quarterback, but that's an arguable statement. You can't go to a 2-win team on a 3rd string quarterback and take them to overtime. Now, we did what we needed to do because Jahmyr Gibbs is the greatest running back in the NFL right now. Hands down. It was proven yesterday. Now, the funny thing is, I said, I think I put it in the notes, and I said, can we start talking about Jahmyr Gibbs for MVP of the NFL? And up until about, I don't know, 8:30 last night, that was my thought. Until one Jonathan Matthew Stafford showed up, and we'll talk about that game later. But I mean, that's the answer right there, clear cut, and we'll talk about that. But as far as the Lions, the biggest problem, obviously, which has never been a problem in the past, is a lot of drop balls by the receivers. Goff looked okay. He seemed to do a little more scrambling when he could. I still think the offensive line is a problem. But Thursday is such a huge game. Now the Packers have some injuries. They could be without their stud linebacker again. They could be without their running back. I doubt it. I can see both of them playing because I think this game Thursday is for the division. And that's going to be the biggest thing is that Lions, it comes down to Thanksgiving. And Fred, you're going to be there.
I will. I haven't missed a Thanksgiving Day game besides COVID. So since I moved out there, 2015. I will be there. We're in the house. I wear like a pullover that's similar to this color. It's not Honolulu, but it is blue.
Okay.
It's not yellow or green. I will have the Yankee hat on. I mean, that goes everywhere with me.
Right. You're like Nolan.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I will be there. I cheer for my wife's team. Because I want her to be happy.
Right. That's very nice of. It's very kind of you, Fred. We will see each other Tuesday. Maybe we should take a trip to Rally House and get you something nice to wear for the game.
I think
or your wife.
I want to break tradition.
Fair. I can respect that. I can respect
you understand that. So
yep, I understand that. But Jahmyr Gibbs is unbelievable. The Packers' run defense is not the best. I'm taking the over for sure. I think you're going to see a phenomenal game. But defense has to step up. We have to be better. I can think of off the top of my head in the last quarter, maybe last half, 3 third and long situations they gave up, and a 4th and 10 that they gave up. Like we think we have them, and then we just let up a big play on 3rd down.
Yeah, it was the one big one. Was it 4th down?
Yeah, 4th and 10 when Jameis ran for it.
It was offsides on the defense anyway. But then there was another one. Was it like 4th and 20? No,
I don't remember any. I only remember 1 4th down, and that was right before that was the overtime one.
All my games are getting like mixed in.
Understandable. Speaking of mixed up games, we'll move on from the Lions, but I'm excited. Thanksgiving, it's a tradition here in Detroit, and I'm excited for it. But Detroit Lions, please don't ruin my Thanksgiving. Don't do that to me. I'm so loyal. You can't ruin my Thanksgiving. Don't ruin my Thanksgiving. Speaking of ruining things, Fred, you ruined my weekend with the Steelers losing to the terrible Chicago Bears. Tell me about the game. Didn't watch it. I was watching a better game. Tell me about
it. It was like we're back to it's the same shit that like if you're a Steeler fan and you've watched the games over in the post Ben era, it's the same type of thing going on. They don't throw the ball over 10 yards in the air. So he did throw a couple go routes. One was picked. I think in the 4th quarter, they put up a stat and he was 1 for 4 in balls over 10 yards in the air. Now, throwing 4 balls past 10 yards, is crazy to me. Now, like I said, 3 of those were go routes and 1 of them was picked. So everything is within the line of scrimmage, elongated runs, quick hitters, stuff like that. And that's what they're in right now. That's the offensive scheme that you're going to see. It worked. They moved the ball well. They were running the ball well, but again, strip sack for a touchdown. That helps. But they didn't score in the 3rd quarter. It was one of those games where you were just waiting. You knew they weren't going to blow them out or anything out when it was, they throw 21 up in the first half, but it's just and one of those touchdowns was defensive. I wasn't surprised at what happened. I was more just I was more disappointed with myself having the hope. Like,
Right.
like instead of just being like, because, at one point I'm like, all right, I'm thinking ahead, okay, we win. We're 7-4. We play the Bills. 7-5 is still okay. Like, trying to get into the playoffs. And then when shit starts going downhill, you're just like, yeah, what am I thinking? Like,
Right.
like now again, not to get off of the Steelers, because it was very, it wasn't it wasn't anything special. But what I will say is now Ravens are in first place.
You
They
called
won.
it.
They won again. Colts lost to the Chiefs. Not surprising to me, but it seems like
No.
everybody online thinks it's crazy that I thought that. I mean, the Pats squeaked it by Joe Flacco. Give me a break, dude.
Right.
Like, all you Pat fans out there that are jumping all over me on Insta or TikTok, dude, the Pats are not going anywhere. Get your shit straight. Like just it's okay though. I'm a Drake May guy. All I
Okay.
said was I don't think that the Broncos, the Pats, and the Colts are going to the Super Bowl. I did throw the Steelers in because I just said that was the top 4 teams. We all know the Steelers aren't going to the Super Bowl. But
Yeah, you got hammered on social media for that take.
dude, the Broncos will be out in one game. I don't know if the Pats, Broncos, and Colts win a playoff game. I'll go as far to say that. Like,
Wow.
like I don't, I'm just being honest. And just as well as anybody else, I'm a Danny Dimes guy.
You've been a Danny Dimes guy since day one.
Yeah. Like I'm not a hater of these. All I'm saying is that's my take. But
Well,
it is what it is.
Hold on one second, because I want you. I want to get your take before we start going into other games. I want to get your take on Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, and the Chicago Bears.
Dude.
Now, obviously, obviously the Chicago fans are just like, "Oh, it's the greatest team ever! Like, we're gonna win the division." First of all, one of their players was quoted there say they're going to take the NFC North. Get out of here! Like, get out of here! You haven't even played the Packers, and you got beat by like 50 by us. Okay. What is your take on where they're at 8-3? Is this team just lucky right now? Like, they have a tough schedule. What's your thought? Because you got to watch the whole thing yesterday.
I'm a Caleb fan as well. I think he played great. I think he's a good quarterback. I think that the Ben Johnson move is great for the team. I think their play calling was good. Like, it was what it was. I think they may be a year or two away from making like a deeper run. They were busted up on defense. Like, they're totally busted up on defense right now. Which, I thought would help exploit some of the routes within the middle of the field and all that shit. But no, we only throw the ball at the line of scrimmage. Like,
it makes it easier to defend.
It's like they're missing all of their linebackers and we're throwing the ball down the line of scrimmage. Like, what are we doing? Like,
right.
We have, I will say this. I think the Steelers tight end room is pretty deep. Darnell Washington, Jonnu Smith, and Freiermuth. Like, I mean, seams down the field.
Like every other NFL team?
Yeah. Like every team that we play against and we can't defend the seam, like, yeah, do what they were doing against us. But yeah, no, I say they're the worst 8-3 team in the league,
hands down,
half-heartedly. But they're a decent team. I watched it, I'm not going to take anything away from what they did. And I will say they are banged up on defense. They are not, I don't think they're winning the division. I don't think they're winning a playoff game. But Chicago gets very excited when they're not totally shit.
Yeah, 100%.
Like when they're
like the tallest midget.
when they're above 500, they get fired up and they're gonna win the World Series.
Right.
Like they don't even know what they're so confused and happy that they're gonna win everything.
Everything. Let me ask you this question.
That's why your buddy's asking about women's sports. He's thinking they're playing in the MLS over there, the NWSL. Like he's so confused that he's talking about the New York Gotham, which are the champions of the WSL. The champion, number 8 seed, came in, went all the way to play Washington. Trinity Rodman crying her eyes out, rolling around, faking injuries, crying her eyes out. But the Gotham, the cream rises to the top.
Cream rises to the top. Now, let me ask this question, Fred. Would you have beat the Bears with a healthy Aaron Rodgers yesterday?
See, that's interesting because the way I was looking at it, I thought Mace was doing better at what we were doing. I don't know if that makes sense because they're both doing the same thing. Okay. I thought that Mace he can run, which didn't really happen much. It happened on one big play, but it was called back on holding. If they're not throwing the ball downfield, I really don't care. I know there was a video clip of like Aaron Rodgers on the last play of the game, like from the sidelines, like because he saw that we were in the wrong formation before that, and that's stuff that Aaron Rodgers knows more than anybody else in football. He's smart. The execution maybe isn't all there because of his age, but like I don't know, like I don't know if the result would have been different. I really don't. I feel like to throw the ball 5 yards, whether it's you or Aaron Rodgers, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I gotcha. Speaking of an ex-Steeler, are you mad George Pickens is gone? Because obviously, here's the thing: like, if he was on the Steelers team right now, he would be completely pissed the entire time because he can't catch the ball. He's not getting the ball thrown to him over 10 yards. But Fred, he looked out of this world last night in the Cowboys beating the Eagles when that down 21 points.
I think that he's better than DK Metcalf. I will say that. When they were talking about, like for the whole George Pickens era with the Steelers was like he wasn't the one till his second year when we didn't have a 2. So like it was always like the Steelers offense now. We have a 1 but don't have a 2. So when they were talking about getting somebody in with Rodgers and stuff, I was like, listen, Pickens and Metcalf, like it is absolutely nuts. But the thing is, our offense isn't designed for Pickens.
Not at all. Not at all. That's what I'm saying. He would be just irate right now at the situation.
So for him to go is not surprising. For him to do well, to me personally, is not surprising at all because I thought he was one of the best. And yesterday was another example of like the dude's a beast, man. And like, but when you put him on a team that throws the ball downfield and also has a number 1/2, it's a different world. Like same thing with, Devontae Adams now. Like when you put him on a team where a guy's slinging the ball around, like, yeah, he's Devontae Adams again. You can't hold Pickens back like that. Like, and it sucks that the Steeler organization is going this route of, like gap year, figure it out till we find somebody. And in the meantime, we're going to play this elongated run quick hitter game. You know, like it's just not suitable for him. But yes, George Pickens is a total beast. And you know,
what are they saying? What are they saying out east right now about the Eagles? Because that was embarrassing last night to lose to a Cowboys team down 21. And I'll tell you what, Fred, missed it barely, but pretty much every single bet this entire weekend. Drake May over 300 yards, missed that by 4 yards. I picked Cleveland's defense to score a touchdown. That missed. But I did pick Cowboys, money lines, anytime touchdown. Wait, Cowboys money line over George Pickens with the touchdown. Missed the over by 3. Had Pickens would have scored on that long one that I thought he was going to score on, they would have covered that over. So it was almost a good call by me. Saw this is kind of a trap game for the Eagles, which I was right. Are the Eagles in trouble?
I don't think they're necessarily in trouble. Number one, they have the division still basically locked down. I don't know. I don't think that the Cowboys come out of that hole that they dug themselves in. I always thought that the Cowboys this year were a decent team. I mean, they
right up the beginning of the season.
I really don't understand. It's like 1 week to the next. It's pretty crazy with the Cowboys. So they're a decent little team there. To lose 21-0 though, that's crazy. The hype out here was they're going back to the Super Bowl. Now it should be interesting how they feel about what happened, this past week. I still think they're one of the top teams in the NFC. But the Cowboys are good, man. It's really weird. It's just unacceptable to go up 21-0 and lose.
Absolutely. Cowboys was one game. I want to go back to Thursday, Fred. I do my pick 8 but just like you do. And you saw the video. Sarah jumped in. She did pick 8. Got her on the Chiefs Colts game. She went with the Colts. She's a Danny Dimes fan. I went with the Chiefs because I know that there was no way they were going to lose that game. The Chiefs, they're not going to be out this early. Do I think they're going to be out? Yeah, they're going to be out, but I don't think this early. There's just too much for them to prove. But with that being said, the Texans handled the Bills pretty well on Thursday night. I said from the first week of this season, I said it's going to be the Bills and the Ravens. Ravens obviously slipped with Lamar out. Josh Allen has been in the entire time. What is going on in Buffalo? Is this just a curse on this team in general? Like, I thought this was going to be their year. And I'm a Josh Allen guy.
Yeah, and I still think that they're going to do well. Texans have the best defense in the league, which was giving him a lot of trouble. I mean, you watched the game. It was giving him, and Mills Mafia, dudes. I think 3-0. I think that's his 3rd straight win in a row without Stroud. But they're decent. Like the Texans are a good team. It helps that they have the best defense in the league.
Man, they looked so good. I mean, the defensive line was just flying. They didn't give him a chance. They are so big, so strong. I was watching something. They don't even have. They're like the Texans defense doesn't even have a scheme. They're just like
they just
kill the quarterback.
Yes.
Just go.
Yes.
Just go.
I think that the defense played a big part on it. I mean, it was crazy to watch. To watch them handle him like that. But I don't think the Bills are out. They still play the Pats. They play the Steelers this week. It'll be interesting to see how the Bills end up against the Pats. I think in 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not sure, but it's Steelers this week. They're going to roll them. But see, here's another thing about the Steelers. Like when I told you they would win the Colts game.
Yep.
Okay. This is the being a Steeler fan, you kind of get these feelings, right? And this week coming up is home against the Bills. 4:00. It wouldn't surprise me if the Steelers win this game. Just like the Colts game. Because it's like those are the weird wins that the Steelers get where you're just like, you just lose to Chicago, you got Money Mace, like what's going on, you know. You just feel like Bills are going to roll them. And then this is a game that they end up like they totally handled Danny Dimes. I mean, like that game wasn't really close much. And this is one of the reasons why I'm talking about teams like the Pats. Now, we played the Pats very early in the season, but we beat them. Like,
right.
And the Steelers are a shitty team. And I know somebody on Insta or TikTok or one of the things was like, oh, the Ravens just squeaked by Cleveland. And I'm like, look at the Denver Bronco wins this year.
Right. Yeah, you want to talk about squeaking by.
Like, I mean, are you serious? And so what? They just squeaked by Cleveland. Who cares? The Pats just squeaked by Cincinnati with Flacco. Like, good you know, point. Like, I don't know. I can't. Like at this point, I don't believe. I'm hoping we get to 9 wins for Tomlin's sake. To be honest, I just
keep the record going.
For Mike Tomlin's sake, I hope we get to 9 wins. I don't see them winning a playoff game if they even make the playoffs. I don't know that. But I can't wait until the playoffs. Like I can't wait to watch teams like the Broncos get rolled in the first round. Like or may get the bye. We don't know. Or like, you know, the Colts and Pats and stuff like that. Like, you know, I don't see it. But
now,
and the Bears getting rolled in the first round.
They're not going to make the playoffs. If you're now the Vikings got rolled by the Packers.
Yes,
it's obvious I was right when I said that JJ McCarthy is not going to be a good NFL quarterback. Fred, if you're a Minnesota Vikings fan, would you rather have Jameis Winston or JJ McCarthy?
So yeah, I'm not a JJ fan. I thought that it was crazy to draft a guy who didn't throw the ball in a passing league. So, you know, and my nephew
team too on a passing team with Addison and Justin Jefferson and like an insane amount of weapons on the offensive side of the ball blows my mind. I saw the best meme the other day, and it was this guy hanging onto a bus, a city bus, right? And he was horizontal, and it said JJ McCarthy on the Michigan national championship team.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it was. And this is exactly what's going to happen. Like, I don't know what this whole 9 mantra is going on. First of all, there's only 1 9 in this league, and he's going to be the MVP. So stop with that.
I agree. So, like, Stenson Benton was won a national championship. It doesn't mean that he is gonna, you know, take his talents to the same level in the NFL.
You can do this all day long. You ever heard of Vince Young?
Yeah, I mean,
right?
but even
Russell.
The thing is, though, with the Vince Youngs of the world, he was way more attractive than JJ in college. Sure. Way more. Like wasn't there a game he didn't throw the ball?
I believe so. I don't remember. That's been so long ago. He's always one of those guys you think of that was a phenomenal college quarterback that you're like, what? Jamarcus Russell. I mean, that list is huge.
And he's just not. And to have Sam Darnold, Danny Dimes, and him, and let Danny Dimes and Sam Darnold go, I mean, they get what they deserve. And, you know, like, I guess it's still growing pains right now. I think that they maybe give him one more year, obviously. I don't
have to, but
I don't think
will Justin Jefferson be okay with that?
That I don't know, but I will say they definitely give JJ, one more. Like it's not over for JJ. The thing is, either you have to change your offensive scheme to not be a passing team and be more like a Steeler team. He would fit in perfect with the Steelers by throwing the ball.
Fit in perfect in the Steelers,
right?
He would fit in perfect in Pittsburgh.
But Minnesota's not that type of not with Jet. So I never was big on him. So I'm not really surprised he's not doing well.
All right. Well, with that being said, I mean, we have a couple of games that, I'm kind of excited now after the Cowboys came back. I'm looking forward to the Chiefs Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
It's going to be good.
Obviously Lions Packers is going to be good. One other question is, will Joe Burrow be back on Thanksgiving?
What's that?
Will Joe Burrow be back on Thanksgiving? Bengals, Rams. Is that going to make this game better?
Well, it was weird because they were saying he was like possible this week.
Thought so. Flacco ended up going, who was hurt too. Maybe they're saving him for Thanksgiving. Looks good on Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? Brings more eyeballs to the TV.
I don't think they beat the Rams. But it's
Ravens?
Ravens. I mean,
yeah.
I don't think they beat them. But yeah, no, it would be nice to see the guy not like, he's hurt all the time. It's brutal for him. It's good. It was good. Like the Steelers like benefited on it. I think it was last year as well. Like he got hurt like week 2 or something. We played them week 3. It was great.
Right.
Because like I said, right now the Steelers are in this like this 3-year gap right now where it's just like it's hard to watch. There is no identity. Like they don't have an identity. Like like they used to always have some kind of identity, whether it was a crazy defense or like like a power running game. They don't have anything, and there's just a lot of like unknown shit going on. So it's kind of like it's a tough watch, but like I still believe that the Ravens. Obviously they win that division. I mean, we see it now. When I called it, they were 1-5, and people laughed at me. But they're 6-5 now. They won 5 in a row. They have another game on Thursday, dude. They're not going to be blowing teams out a lot, but like they win
games.
Yes.
Let's. I'm excited. One of my favorite holidays. Just all about food and football. And Fred, you're going to have a blast down there. It's going to be insane. So I can't wait to hear your thoughts on the game. But we haven't done a Monday. Go ahead.
I always enjoy from the day I moved to as soon as I moved to Michigan, I said I have to go to the Big House and I have to go to the Thanksgiving game, and went to the Big House twice, got to go twice, and been to the Thanksgiving game every year. It's an amazing game. I met you there. I met you at the game.
Is that the first time we ever met?
That's the first time we ever met, was at the game at the parade.
Yes. I remember we were sitting in a bar in the corner. I didn't realize that was the first time we ever met. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm like, great. I got to entertain this guy. Like,
right. And here we are now, my friend.
What? She's bringing her boyfriend. I'm like, oh, great. Another jerk off I can entertain. So
I can't wait till she hears this.
So then I'm like, yeah, I'm going to like.
I forgot about that. That's funny. We met on Thanksgiving Day at the Lions game.
I went outside to smoke a cigarette, and you're like, oh, I'll come with you. I'm like, great. I'm like, dude, can I have a cigarette in peace? We get to our seats, and I said to Mary, I was like, dude, he's pretty cool. I'm like, I think he may stick around. Like,
Yeah, Sarah's smart. She's going to hang on to this guy.
I mean, dude, it's about time.
Here we are 9 years later.
Down the corner there at and I can't remember the name. It changed names so many times.
I was just gonna say it's not the same. I don't remember. But I wanted to say something. I want to tell you something, and this just made me think of it. I don't know what you guys have planned prior to the game. Okay. I will, however, do this. The guy that you bought the tickets from, he's not there, obviously, because he obviously used his tickets. But I have a deal with a good friend of mine, Dante Rosa from Dante Rosa Home Loans. He puts on a monster tailgate right by the Barry statue. I can do an introduction if you guys are interested in doing that prior to the game. Food, they probably have 150 people, and you're right by the stadium to walk in. So if you're interested in that tailgate, let me know. I can set you up with those guys.
Yeah, I gotta find out what the rest of the fam is gonna do and when they're getting there, and
yeah, it's a whole thing. But all right, let's go. We got a Monday Monster. We haven't done Monday Monster in a long time, and I didn't even tell you about this one. I even put in the show notes for you that Texas football playoffs touchdown. Okay, get the readers. There they are. All right, you got to check this out. And why did I pick this for a Monday Monster is what the receiver does after this play that basically fools the ref. Check this out.
Quarterback is going to fake. He's got a good arm. He's going to go over the top on the very first play. He's got a man open, and that is going to be incomplete. It appeared Brogan Dempsey had a chance, but it gets knocked down. Nobody's saying anything.
He doesn't even catch the ball.
And they're saying touchdown, that he grabbed it on the deflection. Here we see the replay. Brogan beats it, and it hits the floor. What? It hits the floor, and it is hit.
So when we come up, first play of the day, and there is Coach Kaufman. He is irate, and for good reason.
So there's a lot in that video that makes me laugh, and why I've chose this individual who I have no idea who he is, number 4 from a Texas high school football. The ball obviously hits the ground. He has the wherewithal to pick the ball up and make it seem like he caught the ball. Kudos to him. I always said when I was umpiring with reffing, like, act as if, and then the ref will never know, and vice versa. If you're a ref making a call and you're undecided, sell your call. If you sell your call, nobody's going to question it. If you second guess yourself, that's when you get questioned. This kid doesn't even catch the ball, gets it on a hop, takes it to the end zone, and has the audacity to spin the ball in the end zone. And this was a touchdown.
Well, he kept in the mode there and kept playing the part.
Right, playing the part. Now, I don't know if this team won. I don't know if this was a determining touchdown. But if these referees are still playing, I guarantee they don't have a job in the finals. That's for sure. But that my main man, number 4 from Texas high school football. Act as if, man. Act as if. Obviously, you've got a big week here in Michigan on top of it, the Lions. But before I get into this, is there anybody on this planet that still thinks that college football is better than pro football?
Yes, there are people. Yeah, I think so.
This is where I need you to do your notorious rant.
No,
we're going to cut this out and put it on TikTok, because if you're a football fan and you think that college football is better than pro football, you're an absolute clown. This weekend was a good example of it. Like, what game was exciting this weekend? Zero. Tell me what game in the NFL was exciting this weekend. I can say damn near half of them. But it's ridiculous. I can't even believe that there's idiots still out there that think that college football is better than pro football. But with that being said, we have the game here in Michigan, and it's the game, the biggest game, rivalry game in the history of football. If you live in this state, Fred, and this is what I want to ask you, and this is why I bring you on this show from day one. I want the outside opinion. Does anybody else in the country give a shit about Michigan, Ohio State?
I have a friend who's an Ohio State fan, which is weird. But yes.
Ryan?
No, from West Orange, from Jersey.
Okay.
Now he may have went there. I don't know. It makes sense, but
If
he could have
went there. I understand.
But he has been to the big house, and when he came, I was still living there, and it's always the Saturday after Thanksgiving. We had like another family like Thanksgiving event or some shit, and
Right.
I couldn't link up with him. He stayed at MGM.
Okay.
So like I was supposed to like I asked him like, do you want me to pick you up from the airport, stuff like that, and he's like, oh, I got to rent a car. I didn't know like we're gonna need to rent a car anyway to drive to Ann Arbor, blah blah blah.
Right.
I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna try to come down to he's like, come to the casino, like and it didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
It was the year they got beat up. Ohio State got beat up in Michigan.
Okay.
4 years ago, maybe. I don't know.
We're on a 4-game winning streak, I believe. This 4 in a row.
And I wanted to I was going to meet up with him like Saturday night.
Okay.
And he was just couldn't wait to get to the airport. Like I remember they got beat up
and grab his luggage from the hotel. Just went right to the airport. We'll buy new shit.
I'm like, dude, like, what do you got going on tonight? Like, maybe if I can get away, I'll come down to MGM, or we could go to Corktown or something like that. And he gave me like the puke emoji, like, can't wait to get to the airport, need to get out of here. Now, I think that Michigan has a chance to win.
Okay, that was going to be my question. You took the words right out of my mouth.
I do think they have a chance to win. If they win, they're in. Same thing that I've been talking about all year. They control their own destiny. They win, they're in. I do think there's a chance to win. I have one of my good friends who's saying to me, there's no way Ohio State's winning. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah, they're not winning. They're not winning that game. And
that's just an Ohio State fan being like throwing that in the air.
No, it's just a different friend of mine who doesn't care about Michigan or Ohio State. And he's like, yeah, they're not winning that game. There's no way. He's like, I've been watching some Ohio State games. They're not that good, blah, 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 this and that. They're not winning in Michigan, is what he said. They will win this game in Ohio.
Okay, so there and so it's funny, and a couple takes on this. First of all, Ohio State hasn't played anybody. They played Arch Manning in Texas right out the gate in week 1 or week 2 with the Arch barely even, right. So okay, I'm not sure, but then there's guys and I'm going to tag him in this. I'm going to tag him in this because Ryan McClain thinks that this is like the national championship. If you remember correctly, I asked Ryan when I was standing in his living room in California, Ryan, would you rather beat Michigan or win a national championship? And what did Ryan say to me?
Beat Michigan.
He would rather beat Michigan than win a national championship. My jaw hit the ground. I immediately grabbed my phone and text you and said, you'll never guess what Ryan just said. So this is Ryan's national championship this Saturday.
Okay.
But you think Ryan and the Ohio State Buccaneers have a chance against Michigan? Or vice versa? I mean, I think Michigan, do they have a chance?
I think Michigan has a chance. They're going to have to play a perfect game. It's going to have to be low scoring, which isn't that crazy. Considering Ohio State's not putting up crazy numbers against good defenses, but they're going to have to play a perfect game. They're going to have to play the best game they've played all year.
And they're at home. They're at home, which helps. They're at home. Michigan's out.
Yeah. Now, if they do lose to Ohio State, is anyone going to be surprised? No. I mean, but yeah, I do agree with Ryan in the fact that they do want to get the monkey off their back. I mean, not beating Michigan in 4 years. And plus, if they can get the monkey off their back in Michigan, it's like a double win.
This is hard for me to like wrap my brain around for him to say that, because that would, in the equivalent to me, it would be if somebody came to me and said, if you lost twice every year to the Packers, but you won the Super Bowl, would you be happy? Yeah. No, I don't care about the Packers. I want to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I would not say I want to beat the Packers twice, but not win a Super Bowl. Like, what?
Crazy.
That doesn't even sound right. Crazy talk. But that's how much Ohio hates Michigan and Michigan hates Ohio.
Yeah. It will be an interesting game this weekend. Now, like,
I hope it's a really good game. That's all I'm asking. I just want a really good game.
That's all.
Right?
Yeah, keep it close either way. Like, it's cool with me. I'm not, on any side.
And on the other side of the coin, Fred, if you're looking for free stuff, you could go watch Michigan State play Maryland at Ford Field. Apparently,
you could bring a bunch of people with you for free.
Yeah, so if you buy a ticket, you get 30 free ones. It's buy one, get one 30 free.
Dude, I mean,
this is the most embarrassing thing in Michigan State history, in my opinion. Like, don't even put that out there.
It sucks that, the game's at Ford Field, right?
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah. And so, like, it's almost like just move the venue back to state, like.
Please, because I'd much rather watch Catholic Central play Cass Tech on Saturday rather than Sunday.
They may get more fans.
They will get more fans. 100% Cass Tech in country. Wait, I'm sorry. So it's Catholic Central versus Cass Tech, Division I final, 7:00 Sunday. I'm taking the over in Cass Tech in that game.
As they call it, CC. That's
Fred, I did go to the Rochester Adams Cass Tech game on Saturday. I told you I wanted to see Cass Tech play. They dominated Rochester Adams. Well, I mean, Rochester Adams hung around, but the only reason they hung around, and hopefully Cass Tech cleans this up, is too many penalties. A couple holding penalties that kept them out of the end zone. Rochester may have been a little more disciplined team in that aspect of the game. But at the end of the day, I mean, again, to quote Fred, the cream rises to the top. I think it was 44-22. A couple of garbage points in there, but their running back number 7 had 5 touchdowns.
I mean, that's not a terrible loss by 20 points to a nationally ranked team.
Right. But the downside is, if I'm not mistaken, I think Rochester Adams has lost in the semifinals 4 of the last 5 years. So they're just like one game away from going to the big dance, which is interesting. Actually, I just got a text message from Rob Bakeman, who told you to stick to women's. He wants to know when the pod's going to drop. So he'll get it. He'll get it. All right, last but not least, we got to talk about it. We're going to have a special guest here in the next couple of weeks, one that the NFL slows down. Very, very big Piston fan. But I want to talk to you, Fred, because the Pistons are now on a 12-game win streak. And the question is, can they go undefeated for the rest of November? They play Indiana. They play Indiana, the Magic, the Heat, and I'm missing one other team. That they play. I think it's possible that we can go undefeated in the month of November.
Yeah, the Magic game will be tough.
Magic and Heat game will be tough.
Yeah, I think that me personally, I think that, first of all, winning games with your stars on the bench is crazy. Now that people are back, it's great. But you can't lose ground when you're playing with your subs, which they didn't. I do think that the Pistons are a good team. I don't know if they come out of the East. I would say that you have Cleveland.
Right now, the top 3 teams in the East are the Pistons, the Raptors, and the Heat. Okay,
None of those teams None of those teams will come out of the East.
You're not even giving us a chance.
No, I'm giving you a chance. I just don't think you're coming out of the East. And
So who do you think it's going to be? New York or Cleveland?
I think it's going to be Cleveland, New York, or Philly. Those three.
Cleveland, New York, or Philly. All right. And then Western, I got
Nobody's
Western Conference. You go ahead.
Nobody's beating a healthy Philly team.
Okay.
Nope.
I can't wait to bring Jake on here. You guys are going to have some fun. Western Conference, I got Thunder, Lakers, Spurs. Top 3 teams in their divisions.
The Spurs is a little iffy, right? Because
it's all about health.
Yeah. I think you got to throw the Nuggets in there.
Yeah.
I think that OKC is just they may go back to back. The Lakers are going to be back in a big way. But I think you can't the Nugs, man. Like I think those three. The only thing is I would love if Wemby was healthy, yes, he's definitely in the top 3.
Right on that.
It's like I don't even know how long he's out, but it's like it just totally killed the vibe because with KC at 1 and Wemby at 2, until the injury, it was great, and then now it's just like, oh man, like
the problem with the guy that big. And as much as he does on the floor, he's so susceptible to injuries. And we've seen it in guys of his size. I mean, you talk about guys like, remember, what was the one guy from Ohio State, speaking of Ohio State, Greg Oden?
God.
Who was supposed to be a phenom, could never make it happen. He was the biggest bust ever. I mean, the guys of that size, I mean, genetically, you just can't be that big and stay healthy. You can't. It's just impossible. It's impossible. But all right, we ran over our time today, but Fred, I'm pumped.
Also, real quick, NYCFC, the men's NYC MLS team, right?
Don't forget about
Eastern Conference semis yesterday. They'll be facing Messi this weekend in the Eastern Conference finals. Just another thing to just like throw your, just another, another thing to check out. We're not just like a great baseball area and football area. We're also a great soccer area, like with the Gotham. And now NYC. So
there you go. All right, Fred, I'm excited. You have a safe trip to Michigan. I will see you tomorrow evening. I will see you on Wednesday afternoon. I hope everybody has a great week. Happy Thanksgiving. Go Lions. Take care, y'all.